Well, good afternoon. It's here we go. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's time for a little bit of hobby. It's been an interesting work day. Wife's in the background, kids are upstairs. It's quiet, and time to just paint before dinner. So hopefully everyone else is doing a little bit of hobby. Just pinging out to another colleague, see if they're okay. Let's see. Here we go, and done. All right, what do we got? So tonight we've got. Here we go. Where's my sweet spot? About there. So tonight we've got a storm. What do we got? Rebel guy from Star Wars Legend. Hope you can see that okay. Let's see if we can. There we go. And let's brighten it up. Down there. All right. Happy painting. Really should put some music in the background, I think. It's a bit of a test, show my kids how to set up a basic streaming session. Have a real simple setup, so normally I'm photographing people and I'm using one of my work cameras. I've got a Canon Mark 5 something, 5D sorry, Mark something, up here on a tripod. Basic setup, I've got my HN4 zoom just sitting there, just streaming in there. Again, normally this is for photography work. Not really set up very well for casting, but it's a bit of fun and an experiment. Trying to figure out where I need to be so you can see what the hell I'm doing. Hang on. There we go. That's a bit better. Get my light in there. Looks a bit dark on camera. It's actually a little bit brighter in real life. Let's see if we can light her up. Down there. Can it be seen okay? I'm not sure how this streaming stuff works. I don't know if you do comments or what the hell goes on. But, yeah. Link's broken. Hang on. Alright. Let's find out. Link's broken, huh? Me. Here we go. Copy. Alright, thank you for the feedback. Let's try this. Paste. Paste. And it's a lovely wife. Paste. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works there. All right. So, what do we got? All right. Let's see. So, the lovely wife behind doing tech support for me. So You can check it on the laptop, etc. We have the neighbours driving motorcycles. Now, let's make sure that's in focus. There we go. Alright, so this guy here, after bitching and moaning about these models for a very long time, with lockdown, you know what? I actually want to play with my kids, because they're the only people that will actually put up with my shit in the house. So I want to get them table ready, and then roll some dice before my sanity fully goes. So nothing magnanimous, just trying to paint some toys. If the kids found out that I was streaming stuff, they'd be down here in a heartbeat to check it out. Now, we tried doing some hobby over Messenger, and we tried doing it over WhatsApp, and we tried to do it over Discord. None of it was amazing. Unfortunately, doing a hobby like this is a bit weird because it's only one way. It's only me talking to myself and the wife behind me laughing. Wife, you're on camera. There we go. Basic and nasty. Alright. Tip when you're able to go back to takeaway. These were fantastic. These are the little trays that you put sauces in when you're at a takeaway place. They're great for one uses. The metal ones are fantastic, but you gotta clean them, and I'm lazy. What have we got? This guy, some dark gloves. Got some dark rust. We've got some chocolate. Where's my favourite colour? We have. Where's it gone? So tonight I'm using mostly Vallejo colours. So smoke mixes with everything. It's fantastic. So I'm going to use some chocolate brown. Homemade wet palette. Mix a bit of fluid in there. Here we go. Gonna have to invest in a better tripod because the one I have, it's great for photographing people and families. Absolutely shit house for being a stand next to a painting stage. Camera's probably a little bit heavy for anything else at the moment, so I have to invest, do some research of what real streamers use to mount up. And again, trying to do it on a budget. Just checking it's working better for some mates. Right. Where's the spot? There it is. Normally have music playing, but I don't know what other people put on there. If they have backing tracks, they just talk shit, or what the case may be. brush is almost on its way up. Alright, other bits. Brown belt's probably not so contrasty, but I have it on the palette, and that's what I'm going to use. Now, my biggest problem with these models, they're the original cast out of the box, out of the starter edition, bought as a pre-release, and not really the same quality as what I was used to before. Had a big sookie lala about it. Took me forever to get re-motivated to paint them, and here we are today. Any small person movement, we are probably going to be greeted shortly. Quite uninterrupted painting time is almost over. Ah, here's the second board. Wave, son. We are streaming on YouTube, as you like to call it. If you don't believe me, go check on Mum's laptop.
What?
It's very quiet. You can just hear my NAS in the background there, just ripping through its hard disks and doing backups, which is not awesome. So we can put some tunes on. Spotify, I don't know what we're allowed to do. Let's turn it down. See how that works. Yeah. Maybe later. Maybe later. Second born wants Minecraft soundtrack. Yeah, I don't think so. There we go. Regards to the wet palette, all it is a plastic kitchen container flipped upside down, and paper towel, chucks and all that stuff in it. Homemade. I normally use a little bit of airbrush thinner to thin my paints. It doesn't muck with the paints too badly. Now I've been with these guys, they're backpacks. Do you have any painted ones here? I do. Right, so they're backpacks. Normally, I've been doing them all black, but I don't know, they normally know different colours. Obviously. Again, stick with black. Black is boring. Black is safe. too far over my desk at the moment with this camera set up. Kind of interested in the playback, just so we can understand what the audio quality is like, and if I got the focus right and it's not too overexposed. Now for some smoke. Great colour, way too thin. Just gonna use it for weathering, use it for everything. So let's go. It's transparent though, so you gotta be careful. Mix it with other colours, thinner right down, blend it into the cracks, make it look like something's dirty, etc. Rewatched a little bit of Rogue One last night, Star Wars Rogue One. Get some inspiration for the colours for these guys. Some of the costumes had this really cool blue-green colour, blue-grey even, sorry. Looked great. Tried to repeat it. Looks crap. That was last night's effort. Didn't quite nail the colour, so I'll weather the shit out of them. Funny holding your hands out like this. I shake like nothing else, shake like a leaf. Okay. Actually, that band around her waist, it's a bandolier, I think it's called. I'll chuck an extra colour in there just to break it up. Use some, can't even pronounce that. Scophiopolis, little brown. Firstborn has joined us. Good colour. This one's a great colour as a base for yellows. Again, it's a pretty nice pigment. Doing very well. I hate these children. airbrush time. My kids have just discovered I'm streaming on YouTube. This guy here is actually, what's it called? Not Devil Mud, what's it called? Agrax Earthshade. I've just popped it in a dropper bottle, I use it a lot, so, and especially through the airbrush, it's just heaps easier. Right, give everything a bit of a shade down. Do you like painting leather textures? I guess it's acceptable to have the straps and backpack a different colour. It's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, gloves. As these guys are pretty much plebbies. I don't want to go crazy with them. I just want to get them coloured on the desktop, tabletop. With lockdown, you run out of paint. You can't just buy one paint from the shop unless you want to pay freight for everything. Should we chuck a little bit of German grey into the black just to not make it so dark? That means we can, even though we're going to make it look black, we can shade down and make it blacker. Alright. Hear the kids whispering in the background. All we'll have to do is move up to the study when pandemic's over. I can steal my office back from the lady wife. got to say, I got to change the setting position because it's sitting on the tip of my seat, just so I can lean over where the camera's going to reach. So that's going to have to get changed. Too charged to pay for Spotify Premium. Face. Normally I'd use medium flesh tone, but I'll go a little bit lighter because this is a female. Let's did a few head swaps on these because for some reason Fantasy Flight didn't think that silly collectors like myself would buy multiples of the same kit. So we've got lots of kits that are models that are identical. Well, actually every unit is identical. So go through a little process of just head swaps and change the angles they're sitting on. So I think this one used to look like this one, who got swapped to become ATST pilot. So there's another one coming out of those, and I think I can't remember where I chopped the head off from. Anyway, but yeah, bit of head swaps, mix them up a little bit. Anyway, so using these two for flesh, and we'll chuck a little bit of ivory to highlight it. But then this stuff makes it so much easier. So we're using a little bit of the GW contrast flesh, the Gilliman flesh. So we'll chuck that on there as a to shade it down a little bit. I think it's about as much quiet hobby time I'm going to get, because I think the kid's going to want to take over. I can hear him in the background. I think they want to get in the action. That's probably going to take 2 coats to get a nice solid look. Right. Let's wrap it off there, and I'll I have some mates who are actually saying something. Oh, holy moly. How do you respond? More, hide, add. Agents. Very new to this whole casting streaming crap. Bit of fun. It's the crazy stuff we do in lockdown. What have they said? They're hitting me up on WhatsApp at the moment as well. No, not that, not that. Respond to comments, wanker. Nice. What else? I think we'd rather see your palette than look at you painting. Yeah, no drama. I get that. See, my negative at the moment is I'm using a 1-camera setup and the camera off my Mac at the moment. So the goal would be to put in a second camera and capture the palette or how I'm mixing and painting over it, because then it will be a whole lot more comfortable. So I need 2 things for that. 3 things. I need another camera, better tripod. But I'm just testing out the equipment and the audio stuff, etc. At least he pronounced Gilliman properly. good. It sounds like a voice mod. You have a slight electronic voice. That's probably my mic. All right, thank you. Thank you for the heads up. Anyway, so the goal is, girly man. So the goal is here is to I'd like to stream games, not painting per se. I'd actually like to stream some games. So I actually have people be able to dial in, or friends, my friends dial in and have a game we can play remotely. So currently in Australia, in Victoria, Melbourne, we're locked down. We can't go out, we can't see anyone, and it's nuts. So this is the insanity I've kind of moved to. So actually that skin's pretty dry and the kids are going quiet. So let's see if we can get a little bit more painting in. And if I can move, wait, there's the camera. If I can move my palette over a fraction. Now the drama will be, yeah, that's not going to work. Anyway, let's see if we can. All right, where are we here? So the other thing I've noticed is that this guy's moving at about 105mm lens. I can't really zoom in, any further than that. So I might have to look at putting one of the bigger lenses on there, or put a better video on there and what's it called? Crop into the film. So actually record it, not stream it, and actually cut into it. So yeah. Can't let that dry. Alright, so with the browns, a technique I learned, and I'm going to forget where I learned it from. Basically, they take the brown, see if we can't see my palette, take the brown and they actually chuck a little bit of flesh in there, but medium flesh. Oh shit. I don't know if you can see that too well, unfortunately. Need almost a camera right over top. Anywho. It gives me a weird kind of brown flesh tone. So, the trick with this guy, just highlight the leather. I'm sure you can see that now. I've mucked with stuff. And then put a little bit of wear marks with leather. Just make them up. I won't do the whole belt. Then, so from that point there, just going to put in a touch more. Just bright white. Now normally I'd hold this a lot closer to my face so I can see what I'm doing. Little scratches and stuff. Yeah, I think my painting time's almost up, guys. Alright, then I do little scratches like that. Then if you've got like a GW colour, you can use a chestnut ink. But I use the Army shader. I actually don't use them for how they're intended. I actually use them as a glaze. So this guy here, I'm just going to chuck a drop down. Oops. Chuck a drop down, chuck some of that Vallejo thinner on it and basically make it into a really thin glaze. It's almost translucent, and with that I'll actually glaze it back. I'm only doing just the back bit of the belt at the moment. Just like that. Now if I can, it's probably going to go out of focus. Yeah, it's not going to work. Alright, I'll have to get a better lens, a better zoom. I'll let that dry, and it kind of all ties it back in, and then what I would do is go and put another little tiny little spot highlight. So using the same colours again, just little spots on there. So I'll do the same thing with that kind of flesh mix, like on any leather bits that I want to capture. Let me just move that mouse cursor. don't know if see if there's any comments. I wasn't even looking. Oh baby, take it off. Bum paint cam 20 hours. Okay. Alright, so I need to figure out what's going on with my audio. Okay. Give me 3 seconds, guys. Alright, sorry. Is that better? Just check the volume. Is that better volume, guys? Just making some updates there. So I'm not used to all this. There's so much shit going on at the moment. Oh, you guys are funny. So the volume's better? Keep it on. Yeah, Daniel, you don't want to see me without my gear on, buddy. That shit will live here forever. Is anyone else doing hobby? Alright, I have to figure out what's going on there. So basically, I'm running my mic through the same hub as the camera mic. Alright, cool. Alright, thank you, gentlemen. I'm not used to this live feedback. Holy moly. Alright, where are we? Where's my camera angle? Alright, there we go. So how do you guys... Sounds like healing. So how do you guys do hobby with the kids? I guess that's the biggest trick. I mean, mine are being very well behaved at the moment. Normally hobby's done when they're sleeping. This would be... You're not wrong, David. You're not wrong. But again, it's experiment, trying to figure out if this stuff actually works. Oof. Yeah. Well, what would be really awesome would be figuring out how I can get you guys dialing in. Because we've done sessions, as I said, we've done sessions of hobby online, like through Messenger or WhatsApp and Signal and all these other bloody things. But the quality is terrible. So I don't know how we, how we do it. It's weird, live streaming. You got to keep looking up and checking what's going on there for commenting stuff. Right. Here we go. Chuck some more tunes on and see if that's still playing. There we go. That's right, David. It's I don't know when the next time we're going to be able to get together is. It's crazy, you know. We may as well live on other parts of the planet. Probably see each other more often. Need a second screen. Why, Daniel? Why do you reckon a second screen? Maybe 6. Why do I need a second screen? Talk to me. No, free techno. That's right. It's actually the music to one of the body combat classes I do to try to keep myself from being such a fat bastard. thanks to the wife who put me onto it. But yeah, it's going to remind me that after this, before the kids go to bed, I need to work out because I'm fat. Fingers. Have a smaller screen for chat. Oh, you reckon? Well, it depends. You gotta, I don't know. I mean, I don't think a lot of people have the camera on their face while they're chatting. Oh, there's the washing machine. Hey Lucas, can you turn the washing machine off, please, buddy? Thanks, mate. I reckon I got another. See you, David. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. I've never actually watched a Twitch stream. The only Twitch stream I've ever watched, I think, is Ramon's when he was doing some sniping of his sci-fi games. Don't know. All right, yeah, 5 more minutes before the kids start getting hungry. Same technique as before, as the other leather work. Like I said, I'm not very comfortable in the position I'm sitting because I'm rushing to get it done before I have to wrap up. All right. Do a little bit of white spotting on the leather. Little scratches. I love scratches. Scratches on armor, scratches on leather. I'm not assuming this is leather though. Who knows what it's meant to be in the movies. So that's the back bit that dried before. Little glaze on, just put a little bit of extreme highlights on it. Oops. Okay. Now to glaze the lot. No, Daniel, this is Star Wars Legion, man. So this is from Fantasy Flight. It's yeah, look, it's a good fun game. It's really enjoyable. Simple rule set. Just the models are a little bit game boardy for me, and that's just my OCD. That's all. But it's a fun game. Like, you know, Mon and I played. Jules and I played. I think we've only played 1 or 2 maybe games. It's just good fun. It's streamlined, straightforward, cinematic like the movies. You can do a lot of the what if stuff. Ramon is a cheaty bastard though. Love your work, Ramon. Just glazing that brown back in now. No one will ever notice except for me. If I was doing like a display demo model, when I glaze it, I actually take off the excess water on a napkin, so like you grab some paint and you just drain the excess off and then put that on. I find it works. I don't know the technical behind it. I just find it works heaps better. It brings it all back together. Brings it all kind of smooths it out. So all those extreme highlights get knocked down a little bit and then blended into the rest so it looks, well, the way I like it anyway. Let's do the gloves. So it's not a wash. You don't want to wash the area. That smoke colour I had before, I'll show you that. I just thin that one down a little bit. That's a really good colour for like shading in. It's a great little colour. The paper, what do we got here? Alright, so I use, just to give you, actually it's starting to dry out a little bit. So basically I use just chucks. I buy a roll of chucks because what happens is after a while it gets a bit smelly. On the chucks I put a couple of drops of dishwashing detergent. So I use the anti-mold stuff. So then it, like I can keep the palette closed off and it doesn't pong, because again, if you just use normal water and sponge, if you keep your wet palette closed, when you go to open it again, you may cop a whiff of farts. It's like the worst smell ever. So that's just normal water, and that's it. Now this is just baking paper. I use a big ass roll. I use, like, my palette is actually quite large. Like it's a big container, and then you just pop the lid on when you're done. So it's just a container, you know. So I just pop that around when I'm done. So it's, yeah. This part, you can go to Costco and get the big box of parchment paper, which I find really good too. Hope that helps, Danny. If you're not sure, just ping me directly, man. I'll take some pickies of the stuff I build. But it's disposable. Like when I'm done, like I'll keep this, say, for about a week. Unless it goes to shit, then I'll peel it off and just throw it in and start again. That's pretty easy. That's what I've got to do. Do a face. So this is the girly man. The girly man contrast. Now, you've got special contrast medium, which I don't use. I use just the Vallejo, because I'm using it like almost like a glaze or a wash. I'm using the Vallejo thinners. I'll probably do this twice. Once I've done this once, there's a hair on there. It's too thin. So that I'll leave dry, and that takes ages to dry. And then I'll re-highlight it with the same flesh, a bit of lighter flesh and some on the nose, and then I'll come back and finish that. But thank you for joining my my dodgy stream session. I hope it was amusing. Thank you for the feedback. I will work on that. I'll figure out what's going on with this mic, whether it needs to be closer, whether I need to have it in its own USB port, not sure. But yeah, I hope to improve this one. We have some new X-Wing, some second-hand X-Wing coming. I'd like to set the table up and have a game with the kids and try to get some people involved. So thank you very much. See you later.